everyone, and welcome to another segment of AstrologyAnswers.com's weekly horoscope. My name is Terence Gardino. This week is relatively calm, astrologically speaking. There's a couple of really favorable transits, but keep in mind, Mars, working energetic Mars, is retrograde, as I've been talking about recently. It went retrograde last week on June the 26th through August the 27th. And Mars has so much to do with that ambition and drive. And when it appears to go retrograde once every 2 years, it's as if we're swimming against the current. So it's not advisable to start new projects, whether it's with business or with home repairs, remodeling, because that drive to accomplish and to achieve of Mars is going backwards. So it means it's taking twice the effort, or you're just swimming against the current or beating your head against a brick wall. And it's always advised not to go to war against somebody, such as a lawsuit. Now, if somebody sues you during the Mars in retrograde, it will probably turn out more favorably for you. And you don't want to have elective surgery because Mars deals with cutting and tools. And so it doesn't mean danger with elective surgery. It might mean that it's not what you expected, or it has to be redone. Now just keep that in mind. If you have to start a new job during Mars in retrograde, just pace yourself. Don't get overly anxious with a lot of expectations. And chances are it'll just be more frustrating and slow moving initially. This week, the good news is on July the 5th, the day after the U.S. 4th of July holiday, the Sun is putting a very favorable spotlight on expansive Jupiter. You'll be feeling it the day before, the day after, but particularly on the 5th. This is very favorable overall for traveling. And a lot of people will be traveling because of the big holiday. Jupiter also brings optimism, and even though things might be slowing down for you, maybe the holiday put you in a really good mood. If you're not in the United States, something else is putting you in a really good mood. One caveat: on the 5th, communication Mercury is in opposition to the retrograde Mars. You might be more prone to making impulsive, sudden decisions that you will regret. But the Sun, Jupiter will modify it, make sure you're not going over the cliff, and be protective. You might also find yourself getting caught up in an ego dispute, an argument. But again, the wisdom of Jupiter will prevail. You also have to be careful with Mercury with communications, rules transportation, and when it's in conflict with Mars that can deal with mechanical devices, your car could break down. Or there might even be an accident. But I wouldn't be too worried about anything serious because the Sun to Jupiter is very protective. And if you are traveling by car and something goes wrong, then the Sun, Jupiter, you'll find a garage. For most of you, there's not going to be any issues. But of course, all this depends on all the other planets influencing your individual horoscope. The other big influence that's very positive is at the end of the week, the following Sunday. And that is when the Sun is in harmony with inspirational Neptune. Now on Sunday, this is also a pretty good day with Neptune to be more involved and connected with your religious or spiritual beliefs. Or it's a day that you're feeling so much more compassion and more charitable. For artists, this can be a day of inspiration that inspires the imagination. So overall, there's just that Mercury-Mars may be a hiccup with traveling communications, but the Sun-Jupiter is making sure everything turns out okay. And other than that, this is a calm week as long as you are pacing yourself and not pushing and expecting too much because of the Mars in retrograde. Before I sign off, I want to remind you I'm available for the one-question offer for a nominal fee. The easiest way to sign up is under the video in the description box should be a direct link to order your one question. The time of birth is always important if you have it, even if it's an approximate time of birth. And I suggest you put your time, your birth information and the time again in your message or your question to me to make sure I have it accurate. I want to thank you for watching. I hope you tune in next week for my next segment. Until then, have a great week.